As we know, all new updates for Overwatch are to be free, with the only paid content being the cosmetic loot boxes, or Happy Meals as some have nicknamed them. With Anna, Sombra, Eichenwald and Echo Point Antarctica all coming as free content last year, Oasis is the latest map to come from Blizzard Entertainment, kicking off 2017 with our very first piece of free content. The map has been in development on the public test realm for the last few weeks, so it's not exactly news to us that this map exists, but seeing that a lot of players don't utilise the PTR or even have access to it given a lot of the player base is on console, it's worth taking a quick look at the map so you know roughly what you're doing when you get thrown into a match of quick play or even worse, competitive. Bit of backstory first, Blizzard don't just create things for the hell of it or because it looks cool. There's always a bit of lore to the stuff that they create. The official description of the map reads, Oasis is one of the world's most advanced cities, a shining jewel rising from the Arabian desert. A monument to human ingenuity and invention, researchers and academics from around the region came together to found a city dedicated to scientific progress without restraints. The city and its inhabitants are governed by the Ministries, a collection of brilliant minds who possess many secrets that have attracted the interest of powerful organisations from around the world. The map accommodates the Control game mode, which I'm incredibly excited about because I'm not personally a huge fan of that particular game mode. I always seem to lose more Control matches than I do win them, so I'm hoping that this map can bring something new to the table that'll switch things up enough to add new tactics to the meta. Surely enough, the map does add something very new that I think will provide exactly this. The scenery is incredibly modern, kinda similar to the stuff we see on Numbani, with the tall skyrises and blue and orange neon lights used sparingly to accent certain aspects of the architecture. There are a couple of places around the map with large holes that just fall away to the abyss beneath, although most of them seem to be nearer to the spawns, away from the action, so although it seems as though these holes are intended to be decoration, Lucio and Roadhog players could potentially use their abilities to their advantage to score some pretty funny environmental kills. I did some testing to see if flying underneath these holes would provide any secret routes through the map, but it doesn't seem like there's any King's Row style fly-through routes here. I gave it a go with Widowmaker 2 and came to exactly the same conclusion. Part of the environment that's caught a lot of players' attention is the highway to the edge of the map. This busy road contains fast-moving traffic that's actually pretty deadly. Nothing stops these bad boys, trust me, I've tried everything. May's Ice Wall, and her Cryo Freeze, Reinhardt's Shield, Anna's Sleep Dart, I know that was a long shot, Diva's Defense Matrix, Roadhog's Chain Hook, another long shot, and his Whole Hog Ultimate, Winston's Primal Rage, Zarya's Graviton Surge, yes I know I'm taking quite a lot of long shots here, and also Lucio's Soundwave. I tried my absolute hardest to try and stop one of these Toyota Hiluxes of cars, but there really is nothing you can do to stop them. So if you catch sight of any how to stop the cars on Oasis clickbait videos on YouTube over the next few weeks, you heard it here first, it's probably bogus. You might have noticed that the cars kill you in one hit too, and since there's actually a health pickup right next to the highway, using Lucio to push unexpected enemies into the path of oncoming traffic might not actually be a bad idea. Over on the opposite side of the map to the highway, you'll find the Gravity Lift. This acts just as you'd expect, very similar to something you'd find on a Halo map. The Grav Lift will launch you high into the air, overlooking the central point. I can already see some pretty insane sniper montage clips coming from this, as well as some pretty insane ultimate combinations. Imagine a team regrouping on this ledge here, ready to assault the point, only for a Reinhardt to flank behind, fly into the air, catch an Anna ult in mid-air, and bring the hammer down right on top of the enemy. That would be awesome. This is the only Grav Lift featured on any of the Oasis control maps, though I am very happy that something like this has been included. It adds an extra level of verticality to the game, meaning that players aren't only having to watch the skies for Pharah, but pretty much any hero. This isn't the only map that comes with the Oasis update, however. It is the only one that you can access easily through spectator mode, so I haven't been able to explore the other ones in free cam fully yet. Although playing a few custom rounds using the quick play rule set has shown me a couple of interesting things that Blizzard have done with the central control points. On the first map, there's this central structure in the very middle of the point that's large enough to accommodate a few heroes at a time. It's not quite large enough to encompass the entirety of the point, so it splits up the capture area into a sort of donut shape with a passage through the middle. This cuts off a few of the viewing angles, meaning that the point isn't completely open from the steps down from either spawn, as well as from the walkway in front of the gravity lift. The second map, University, has a square capture point in the centre, similar to the Sanctum map on Nepal, and it looks fairly simplistic with not much going on here, except for the big gaping hole in the very centre of the capture point. Very reminiscent of the cryo-freeze chamber from Empire Strikes Back, I think. Jumping down here will not kill you, but instead you'll find yourself in a neon room below the capture point with a 250 hit point health pack. I love this idea because it takes the well concept from the Ilios and reverses it so that instead of dying when falling down the hole, you actually pick up some health. This hole's going to be a great tactic for when you're the last player left on the point. The rest of your team are still a ways away from regrouping, but the enemy team are mounting a team attack fast, so you can just hop down this hole, circle back towards your team to regroup. The hole doesn't seem easy to get back up through unless you have a character that's capable of reaching high places, like Widowmaker, D.Va or Pharah. So once most heroes go down this hole, the only way they'll be returning to the point is by taking the stairs. And the final map is named Gardens, which yet again does something a little abstract with its control point. The capture area is slightly off-centre from the middle of the map and square again, but this time has a large pathway raised above the point that can be reached by either flying up there or by using the stairs to the left and right. I think I'm right in saying that this is the first control map to ever have a capture point that can be captured from multiple levels, because whilst you're standing atop the walkway, you are still classed as within that capture area. The walkway is overshadowed by a small cubbyhole within the tower here, which can prove incredibly useful for dealing damage to any heroes holding the upper walkway well. This can only be accessed by, again, a few select heroes, as the only way to get up there is to fly or grapple, so it'll be interesting to see which team configurations emerge as part of the new meta for this map. Overall, I'm very impressed with how these new maps are looking. They look as though they're going to offer some pretty unique gameplay experiences compared to the other control maps within the game. Hopefully the additions are for the better. As I said, I'm not exactly a huge fan of the control point game mode, although I'm always up for having my mind changed, so here's hoping that Oasis can do just that. This isn't the only piece of free content coming to Overwatch this year. In fact, this is just the start. Blizzard first showed off Oasis at BlizzCon 2016, but also stated at the same time that they're working on a variety of different pieces of content with the plan to release more throughout the course of 2017. Game director Jeff Kaplan hinted at the new content by mentioning that they tend to work on more content than they release because they prototype stuff and sometimes it fails, or they don't like it, or they go back to the drawing board. He also mentioned that they currently have at least one hero that's looking promising, with it currently advancing through the art department. Just like the heroes, Kaplan has explained that new maps are in a similar position. They're currently prototyping new ones and currently have at least one that they feel confident about. So 2017 is looking pretty bright for Overwatch content, and with the new custom server browser and competitive Overwatch League also making an appearance this year, there's a lot to look forward to. Let me know what your thoughts on the new map are and what you are most looking forward to from this year's plethora of planned updates. I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe so that you never miss any of my upcoming Overwatch content. I've got a lot of great stuff planned for the next few weeks that I really think you're gonna like. You've been watching Major, and I'll catch you in my next one.